And I think we're live, everybody. Hello, boys and girls, cats and dogs. We are an inclusive channel here. Hold on a second. This is a topic Tuesday. I forgot what my topic is, so let me just go look it up. Why does it take so long? Okay. Oh, that's a good topic. Today's topic, we're going to revisit the question of perfectionism. Where do you draw the line? Hello, Stephanie. Hello, Roberta. Where do you draw the line? Just how much of a perfectionist are you, and does it vary? I found that the more that more and more I'm becoming more and more of a perfectionist. Um, um, I used to think, actually, my ex, who is an expert knitter, when he would teach people who wanted to learn, he would tell them, if you make mistakes, that's how they know it didn't come from a workroom in Taiwan. Not to insult any of our Taiwanese friends, but you know what I mean. Hey, Denisha. Yeah, Stephanie, we don't really have to draw a line because it doesn't really have to be the same place every time. So yeah, so there is no such thing as perfect, and some of us hate that idea, and then some of us take great comfort, and some of us go back and forth between those two attitudes also. So yeah, where do you draw the line? What is perfection? But anyway, I always try at the top of the hour to, hey June, top of the hour, I always want to say thank you to everybody in the world, everybody who subscribes, who likes and comments and everything else, and everybody who becomes a member on YouTube or Patreon, everybody who, hey Jackie, there are some people have been remarkably, amazingly generous with gifts. I'm not asking for more gifts. I'm just acknowledging people who have sent them. Also, people have been generous in PayPal and Cash App. And oh, Denny likes my Instagram. Oh, I need to put something up there today, don't I? Yeah, just thank you to everybody in the world. Because your feedback keeps me going. And really, I don't know what more I can say than that. Your feedback keeps me going. And, even if it's just a loving comment, that's enough. Honestly, that's really all I ask. Oh, yeah, Roberta, I understand what you're saying. Roberta is saying that when she's making something for other people, she is a lot less tolerant of mistakes than if she were making something for herself. I think we both need to look into why that is, because we should have the same standards for ourselves that we do for other people. I mean, it reminds me one time I was at a retreat, and and one particular class or workshop was about living as a single gay man, and you know a lot of it was about how would you treat your very best friend, how would you treat someone you loved more than anybody else in the world, and then why don't you treat yourself the same way? That is a really startling question sometimes. Um, it is. So why are we less perfectionist for things for ourselves than we are for things that we're making for other people? Um, you just can't deny it. It is a paradox. It's human nature. And, I'm not going to say that there's a right or a wrong position, but it's the way we are as human beings. Um, and there's a learning curve there. So yeah, let's see. I was talking about thank you to everybody in the world. Also, want to talk about my schedule. My normal schedule. Today is a Tuesday. I do a topic Tuesday. Wednesday, I usually do what I call a Wednesday free for all, which it's a live stream without any kind of a topic, and I do that on at 6 p.m. on 6 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. Hey, Michelle. I got your email, Michelle. I can't wait to read what you sent me. Wednesday free for all. Thursday I usually don't do anything. Friday I have, various and sundry. This particular Friday I have a recorded interview that I think you will love. And if you don't love it, then I don't want to know you. Saturdays I usually don't do anything. Sundays I have poetry readings. Mondays I have my Monday Men, where I interview men in yarn, and I have found that to be amazingly fascinating because there are some really amazing guys out there. And then on Tuesdays, we're back with our topic Tuesdays, and I just do, various topics. Today it's about perfectionism. Last week it was Ask Me Anything. The week before it was all about dad jokes. Hey, Inherited Stitches. So, the topic varies on these Topic Tuesdays, but that's what we're all about. Having said that, this week I'm traveling. So I probably will not be able to do a Wednesday free for all tomorrow, but because I'm traveling to a men's fiber retreat, it's at the other side of North Carolina. And if you don't know North Carolina, it's a big state. It takes 6 hours on the highway to get from one end to the other. So I probably will not be able to do a Wednesday free for all tomorrow. I will, on the other hand, probably do a spontaneous live stream later than my scheduled Wednesday free-for-all. And then, let's see, I will be there until Sunday, and I have everything up until then uploaded, scheduled, and ready to go. But I will also do spontaneous live streams in the evenings to talk about my days, because some of you followed me when I went to the men's fiber retreat in New York in September, and that was so much fun. I loved it. This time I'm expecting to have as much fun. God, I hope I don't buy any more yarn because I don't have the funds for it. But, you know, it will be a really, really good time, because it's always good to meet other stitchers, particularly as a guy. It's particularly good to meet other men who are stitchers. Okay, is there anybody else in the room I haven't acknowledged? Jackie, did I say hi when you came in? I hope I did. Anyway, so that's what we're on about. We're talking. Oh, one more thing about scheduling. I just recently did a holiday marathon, which I like to do on holidays. So I did it for Halloween. I plan another one on Black Friday, which is the day after U.S. Thanksgiving. I think that's November 26th, but I'm not sure about that. And then I also hope to do another one on New Year's Day. I like to do holiday marathons. You know, I don't always get the viewership that I would like, but it's fun anyway, because I have a good time. And it's all about having a good time. What else do I usually say at the top of the hour? I have patterns on Ravelry. I have merch on Teespring. All of those links are available at my About page. You know, all of that stuff. Nightbot will give you my Linktree page sooner or later, where you can also find the same links. And there we are. So we're back talking about perfectionism. Okay. So, sounds like you're talking about something unfortunate between Jackie and Inherited and Tanisha. I'm sorry. Sounds painful, whatever you're talking about. I'm sorry to hear it. So perfectionism. I think I've told this story before, where I was working on a sweater panel, and I think there was like one hook size for the ribbing at the bottom and another hook size for the actual panel body, and I realized like halfway through that I had changed hook size, and I tried to convince myself that it would work, but in the end I knew it wouldn't, so I had to frog the whole thing. And yeah, we all have stories like that where, okay, I think the interesting question is, ooh, well, inherited, if it's a bad day for coughing and such, then maybe maybe doing another day would be better for your video. I don't know. So what is this going on? Oh, hello. I can't even pronounce your name. Tot Mama 73. Hello there. I don't believe I've seen you in here before, but you're certainly welcome. Well, inherited. Um, that's the good thing, especially if you have, if you're on a Mac, you probably have iMovie already built in. And there are other editing um, programs that are probably free. So you can edit those coughs out. I do it all the time. Hey, Alicia. Especially when I'm doing interviews and I wind up talking too much about myself instead of the other person. You know, some of it I leave in, but you know, iMovie is pretty darn good. And you know, I would say I don't even know that I'm even like halfway proficient in iMovie, but it's so useful for what I want to do because I don't do that much that really requires editing. These live streams I never edit. I do interviews, and sometimes I edit those. Usually, all I really do is I slap something on the beginning and the end. Um, if I find myself talking too much, I might edit some of that out. But then I might leave it in because sometimes people want to see that as well. And I call them, you know, I think the label interview is not quite accurate because what I do with people is really conversations that I record, and you know, it's sometimes it is there will be moments that are about me in those conversations, and sometimes there won't, and that's okay. Yeah, iMovie. Well, just like with anything, there's a learning curve. I'm still learning. I I I am hardly an expert on iMovie or any kind of editing software. Hey, Crazy Engine. Um, but you know, the things that I am able to do in iMovie are really, really useful. And as time goes by, I'm learning more and more. You know, at one point I was just shoving in these like audio clips, these music background things, and they were just so loud. And then I figured out I can control the volume. Who knew? Well, probably everybody in the world but me. But, you know, it took me a while to figure out I could control the volume on those music clips. Um, I haven't yet figured out voiceovers, but I haven't really had the need to do it. I mean, you know, people talk about this. What kind of videos do you do most? What works the best? Honestly, I really enjoy doing the live streams and the interviews the most. I don't really need to do vlogs all that much. I don't need to do tutorials because I don't think I do them terribly well. Um, so, you know, they always say stick with your strengths. Or in the corporate world, is you go with the customers who are already spending money there. So yeah, you just work with the strengths that you have. I mean, you can work on the other skills and turn those into strengths as well, but you present the strengths that you have. Oh, hey, Maritza Carvaya. Forgive me for exaggerating the double R. Um, anyway, yeah, we're talking about perfectionism in terms of whatever you're working with yarn or even in the rest of real life. You know, how much of a perfectionist are you, and does it vary? And if it does vary, why? I find myself asking that question a lot because, you know, um, there's a phrase that, yeah, most people know I studied music in college. And in choir rehearsals, as like a warm up, we would do these like vocal exercises and these tuning exercises. And there would be a time when the our choir director, who was also my voice teacher and also my academic advisor and also a huge influence on my life, sometimes he would say, especially in those tuning exercises, he would say, "Meh, it's close enough for jazz." So then I would say, now I say, it's close enough for jazz, and nobody gets it, but I do. Okay, I'm going to put the link up here again if anybody wants to join us. Anyway, here we are. It's a topic Tuesday. We're talking about perfectionism. Tell me, how much of a perfectionist are you? Are there times when you think, it's good enough? And other times when you think, I cannot possibly let that out of my hands? Because I have that variation too. Anyway, let me show you what I'm doing right now. This is my Alicia shawl, which is on my Ravelry shawl. And I'm using this amazing, that's not the label, Jelly Beans yarn. The Jelly Beans yarn comes from Plymouth, um, Plymouth Yarns. They only supply to retail outlets, not as a private retail outlet themselves. But this Jelly Beans yarn, I think, is gorgeous, don't you? Isn't that amazing? So I'm doing this for a friend of mine who loves pink. And I'm thinking I hope this will just delight her. Because I'm delighted with it. Um, What else? Tell me what you're working on. What's on your hook? What's in your cup? All the standard ice-breaking questions. We're not getting an awful lot of conversation today. Um, but I have learned to run my mouth when I need to, I guess. So what else? Oh, there's another thing that I forgot to mention in my announcements at the top of the hour. I am doing the pattern collection to benefit the Hunger Fund, but I'm also doing a separate campaign, which really isn't an official campaign. I'm just encouraging people to make dog sweaters and blankets. Especially, I mean, they're great scrap busters. Make dog sweaters and donate them to any pet rescue that you know of, because they all need them. So I don't even have a name for the campaign. There is no accountability. I don't need to know what you've done, although if you want to tell me, I'm not going to object to it. Um, but I'm just encouraging people to make and donate dog sweaters and blankets for pet rescues. I have a few that are ready to mail off, although, yeah, my sister tidied up this room recently, so I have no idea where anything is anymore. I had a few piles over there on the desk where I needed to do the postage. Hey, Petra! Um, yeah, so anyway, what else? Um, oh, Petra is saying that if she doesn't see a noticeable difference, most others won't. But most of the time, if I see a difference, I am convinced that somebody else will. And it might be true, it might not, I don't know. I don't care. I still have to go back and fix it. And I find that I'm becoming more and more of a perfectionist. Um, Now, a lot of I don't crochet production for sale. So most of what I do, it's gonna be a donation, it's gonna be a gift, and it's almost always a sample of a design that I'm working on. So if there are mistakes, then I can learn from them and move on. And usually a gift recipient isn't gonna know the difference. Um, hey Ruby, glad to see you. Um, it's a relative thing, really, and I'm not even gonna say that I'm the same way, that I have the same attitude every day. Yeah, most people will say I have an attitude every day, but that's a different thing. Um, but my attitude about perfectionism, it's probably not going to be the same every day. So I just showed this, what I was working on. This is an Alicia shawl. Gosh, I love that sort of accidental pooling diagonal striping effect. And honestly, that is totally accidental because this is a variegated yarn. Um, but yeah, If somebody else points out an imperfection, well, my first impulse is to want to kill them. And my second impulse is to want to kill myself. Because, any mistake is a mark of shame. Hey, Bonnie! Oh, Bonnie, I haven't heard of that fellow you mentioned. Can you email me a link? Yeah, people have been sending me links and names and channel names of people I can feature in my Monday Men series where I talk with men who do yarn. And honestly, that has been so fascinating, and I have met some of the most fantastic people doing that. And more often than not, I wind up just falling in love with the guy that I'm talking to. And, sometimes I propose marriage even while we're talking. Usually they say no. Story of my life. Yeah, Bonnie. I can't remember that Seinfeld episode you mentioned, but I can imagine just that one spot, and you think everybody in the world is going to notice it, and nobody does. But you are obsessed about it, so you bring it to everybody's attention. Yep. I've been there. I've done that. So, talk to me, people. Tell me what's going on. So, I'm working on, as I just mentioned, another Alicia shawl. I should make a Denisha shawl, shouldn't I? Let's see. God, I love this yarn. Isn't that glorious? I love this yarn. I can't get enough of it. Bonnie Franklin is the other one you referred me to. I watched a few of his videos and really enjoyed them, so I have to approach him and ask him to do an interview. Hey, LaShara. What's going on? Oof. I don't know if this is a good camera angle. Hey, VJ. A Christmas hat for your grandkids. Oh, Ruby. I would love to see pictures. Anybody. I have a Facebook community or a group called, not surprisingly, Bearded Yarn Dudes. You are all welcome to to join and post pictures there. I would love to see all of your pictures. Or if you want, if you do Instagram and you want to tag me when you post a picture there, that would be fun too. But I would love to see more participation in the Facebook group. I have a Facebook page, which is basically just for news and stuff, and then a Facebook group, which is for discussion and community. So there we go. So let's see. Whoops, what was that? Oh, look who's here!
Hey, don't I look like a Russian or something? I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, something like that.
I need help. This hat, I just winged it, and I should never wing anything. I should have made this bigger if it was going to be a tam, or should I not wear it like a tam and just kind of do it back? I have more, so I can make it longer.
It looks fine as it is.
Does it look goofy?
No, not at all. And that was one self-striping yarn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
I wouldn't
it's
worry about it. I think it looks
charisma,
fine as it is.
called Charisma Mulberry Bush. And I've got the rest of it in my pocket. It's not finished. So I used just one ball. I think it was just a little over 100 yards, maybe. I can't remember. Might not have been 100 yards. What's up with you, dude? I'm not a perfectionist at all. No way. I need a little touch of it. But I'm one that rarely ever finishes anything. So.
I think a lot of us agree that we are more of a perfectionist when we're doing it for someone else than when we're doing it for ourselves.
I could see that, especially if it's a commissioned piece, which I don't do.
Neither do I.
No.
I just can't be bothered.
Mm-mm.
So,
no. Well, I just can't pop that. I'm going to be it down in the chat, but I just wanted your opinion on this thing on my head.
I like it. I think it works.
All right. It works with this top too, huh?
Yeah.
Plumish.
I think the shape of it works very well.
Thank you, my darling. I'll be down.
Okay.
Well, down in the chat, and I'll be praying for you for travel mercies. What time you leaving out, or do you know?
I'll probably leave around. I want to leave by 9 o'clock tomorrow.
So you can get there.
I might. Yeah. I might not leave at that time.
Is there anything going on tomorrow night?
Just a group dinner. Probably going out somewhere. But it's really just to be there and to relax and enjoy the company and to just do some yarn work.
Yarns? Oh, but you just said you're not going to buy yarn or going to try.
Oh, hey, MLB. There's not a yarn festival. There is an outing to. There might be more than one outings to different local yarn shops.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I don't want to buy any more yarn because I just I'm
You have enough in the pocketbook, eh?
I don't have anything in the pocketbook. But I sure got a lot of yarn.
I understand that.
So
I understand. I'm loving the weather today. Thank goodness. It's just perfect. Just perfect for fall.
I went out I went into the backyard with the dog earlier today, and
Hmm.
it was so pleasant for November.
Yeah. Yep. I'm on the
So
deck
I'm
in
gonna
the
have to,
shade, and it's
yeah.
lovely.
I just might have
Lovely,
to put on
lovely.
some pants and put the dog on the leash a little bit later and go for
There
an
you go.
actual walk.
There you go.
But if anything that requires pants requires a lot of thought. Um,
Tell me about it. I fell down in the front yard yesterday going to get a box off of my brother's box, and I had my cane, but I fell backwards. My balance is screwed up.
yeah, I've done
My
that
butt took
before.
me down.
I remember one time when I was very, very weak. I had just gotten out of the hospital. I was grabbing the walker out of the car and fell on my back.
Hmm.
But there were
Yeah, there's
some
nothing to
very,
prevent you from falling just
very
because you have a walker. If you go back, that's it.
well. I hadn't even
Gonna
gotten it
take it
out
with
yet,
you. Yeah.
or maybe I had just like pulled it out
Well,
and
see, and
assembled it,
that's
but I
another
still
thing
fell.
because I have to struggle. I just recently got my mom's walker, which really was started off as my dad's walker, so we're handing it down. But
Mm.
and Lordy, I never thought I'd need one at age 62. But yeah, but it folds up, which is convenient, but still it's heavy getting it out. I
Hey
kind of
Tina Bailey.
struggle.
Hey Jessica.
Hey to
Um,
everybody. I can't see chat when I'm up here.
but yeah, and um, I've been very fortunate most of the time when I have fallen. There have been people who have been very kind to help me up. Yeah.
Nobody was around in my brother's front yard. Well, I said my front yard too, but I managed to scramble up. See, not only when you fall is it, oh heck, I fell, but it's like now I got to get up.
Yeah, that's the
On these
hard part.
knees that
Yeah.
hurt and these ankles that are about to get where they can't
There was
move.
one time in the parking lot of my doctor's office, I tried to step up on a curb and somehow fell. And nobody noticed. There were people outside the
Oh my
entrance.
gosh.
There were people outside the entrance that were there to for the COVID screening, the temperature, and all of that stuff. They didn't notice, and so I did pull myself up, which at that time was an accomplishment for me. But
Yeah.
still, um, I did resent that nobody even noticed or came to my
Really?
aid.
It's like, hello, I'm here.
Hey, Suzanne
I could have
Wallen.
used a little help.
Yeah,
I'll
well, of
be down
course.
in chat, my love.
Okay, I'm so glad you came up.
Alrighty.
Bye bye. Hey, Suzanne Wallen. Yeah. Bonnie says, pray that nobody's taking a video at the time. Yeah. Who knows? Hey, Pam F. Your boss stood you up. I was supposed to do an interview yesterday morning. And the person I was going to talk to stood me up. And I sent her a message. And that was yesterday morning, like 36 hours ago, and I still haven't heard back. Well, now I'm thinking, I hope she's okay. At first I was going, she forgot me. But also, she has two small kids, so life can be very unpredictable. So here's a secret. I'm not telling everybody, but I'm posting an interview with Granny D on Friday. Instead of doing a live stream, it's going to be a scheduled post on Friday. And so only you people know it. The 20 who are here. By the way, how are we doing with thumbs compared to participants? Because thumbs are a good thing. Also, watching all the way through is a very good thing. Because YouTube remembers those things. Yes, Suzanne, we love Granny D. Granny D is awesome. I met her in person a few months ago, and that was so lovely. I'm trying to schedule something to meet her in person next week. Actually tomorrow morning is when I travel to Western North Carolina for this men's fiber retreat, and I'm trying to work out a way to meet up with her, with Granny D, on the way back. I have messaged a friend in Charlotte, an old college friend, to see whether she will offer me hospitality, and I need to follow up with her. And then we'll figure out something from there. Because Granny D wants to take me to another yarn shop where God knows I have no money to spend. But I always have money to spend on food and booze. So, and Granny D and I both love both. Yeah! 25 thumbs? Excellent. Thank you for letting me know, Stephanie. Yeah. Oy Now, what we used to do is we would do this until 3 o'clock, and then at 3 we would go over and see Brenda the Newbie Crocheter, who, by the way, is responsible for my subscribe sign and my Bearded Yarn Dude sign. She and her husband have a side business doing that. Her husband does working like that as a hobby. And so they have turned it into a little bit of a side business. And so they made these two signs for me, and I am totally, totally thrilled to have them. And also totally thrilled to have Brenda as a friend. Reallocate my funds? Petra, are you suggesting yarn before food? Actually, that's not a bad idea. In fact, there are some proposed dinner outings at this retreat where I might just have to say, nope, I'd rather spend my money on yarn. But I'm going up with the mindset that I can't afford to buy yarn. Hey, Linda! Wow, so glad to see you. Yarn before booze. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Anyway, oh, now we have 25 people in here. Hooray! So, oh my gosh. So, everybody, tell me what's on your hook and what's in your cup. And we're getting toward afternoon, so we're thinking about what's going to be for dinner, or depending upon your time zone, what's for lunch. Because, I love food. I was just before coming here. Oh, hey, Roseanne. Hey, Michelle. So, this is what I'm working on. This is my Alicia shawl, because you see it grows and grows and grows. And this is this wonderful variegated pink yarn that is, what did I do with the label? Here it is. Jelly beans yarn, which comes from Plymouth Yarns. Plymouth Yarn does not sell directly as a retail outlet to consumers, but they sell to private or to local yarn shops. So from the PlymouthYarn.com website, you can find local yarn shops where they have their yarns. And when I was in New York at the Adirondack Yarn, Yarn and Craft Fair, one of the local yarn shops had a booth, and they had this yarn, and it was $4 a skein. And I'm going, hell yeah. So I got 3 skeins. And I think all 3 skeins will go into this shawl/scarf. Apple cinnamon tea. Thank you so much, Linda. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. I didn't even beg today. Oh, wait a second. Linda, you are so kind. Thank you so much. If you want to see that video again, I'll take more super chats. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I lost my train of thought. Apple cinnamon tea and a Flower Valley shawl. I'm not sure I've seen the Flower Valley shawl. Diet Dr. Pepper. Baby booties. Oh my goodness, Stephanie, do you have, will there be babies in your life soon? Children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews? Because that's always a happy event. Oh, Linda, please. It doesn't matter. It's something, and it's the gesture is more important than the amount. Okay. Let's see. Let me scroll up a little bit. I think I'm missing some of the chat. Roseanne loves the yarn I'm working with. Joanna's working on a mosaic granny and just finished a Tim Hortons coffee. I remember when I think I was visiting friends in Montreal, and they would say Tim Hortons, and it took me a long time to realize that they were saying Tim Hortons, but to them it's Tim Hortons. It's funny. 27 thumbs, that's a good thing too. Honestly, people, I mean, I'm always very thankful for everyone who watches me, everybody who sticks with me. Watching all the way through is a huge thing. Thumbs up, even thumbs down, huge thing, because it counts as interaction in YouTube's eyes. And we always, hey, Dancing Moon, did you just come in? Crystal's gnome hat. Wow. Oh, Dancing Moon, you must post pictures in the Bearded Yarn Dudes Facebook group when that is finished. I would love to see it. Okay, Nightbot just told you my merch is now on Teespring. I really need to get onto there and add a few more things like t-shirts and things. Yes, please. Because I have the Facebook group. No babies. Oh, well, you know what? The baby of one of your son's employees almost counts as a grandchild. Works for me. You know, I'm not good with logic, but that works for me. Yeah, Jessica. Thank you, Jessica, for greeting everybody. What's going on with you? Tell us everything. Honestly, I think the child of one of your son's employees should count as a grandchild. I think that's a wonderful idea. I just got an email. Hold on a second. Well, let me check on my phone. Oh, wonderful. Yeah. The email was from one of the testers for my Tunisian shawl. I can't wait to release that Tunisian shawl pattern, but there have been problems and my testers, I mean, this is probably human nature. It really stings when they point out problems or mistakes, but it's so useful in the end that I have to be grateful. Am I the only one who feels that way? I have some really good testers and people who make really great comments. Oh, thank you, Granny D. Oh, Jessica, you have to go. I'm sorry to see you go, but I'm glad you were here. Yeah. So, yes, I have some wonderful testers. Anybody who wants to be a tester, Granny D with the Cash App, I think it only works on your phone, not on the actual computer. I don't know really exactly. Anybody who wants to be a tester for future patterns, just email me. My email is in the About page. So anyway, honestly, I cannot say how thrilled I am with how this is turning. Lori! Oh my gosh, Lori! I'm so glad to see you. I don't wish to, say anything about anybody else, but oh my gosh, I'm so glad to see Lori. Exactly, Ruby. That's it. That's human nature. That is human nature. I mean, I used to be a typesetter, and I would turn my work over to proofreaders, and they would find typos and whatever else there was. And it took me a long time to figure out that that was part of the job, and that it wasn't personal, and that I can do that sort of thing. And I can go on living if somebody finds a mistake that I've made. So, and it's still that way. I have testers. I have some really, really good testers who make really, really good suggestions. But still, in the moment, it stings. But it's just for that moment. Oh, I'm sorry, Laurie, I made you jump. That's funny. Ah. I do that sometimes. Sometimes it's my face that makes people jump. Anyway, oh my goodness gracious. Oy vey. I have such a list of things to accomplish today. I need to finish this shawl / scarf. I have another thing that I want to finish, but if I could probably package it up and take it with me to the retreat and finish it there. It's one of those things. Hold on a second. Okay. I don't know if you've seen my brioche effect shawl, but this is like a brioche effect. It's going to be a cowl. So I just have to keep doing this. And it's basically it's back loop single crochet in alternating colors, so that you get this sort of the same effect as if you were doing brioche knitting. You know, I got to the point where I'm going, who's going to want to do that? Okay, Arlinda, I'm so glad to see you. But you know what? I think I want to finish it anyway. I'm going to finish it. I'm going to put it together. I first started one going in the other direction, but I like this better, but it just takes a whole lot more work because you have to sew on all of these ends, or sew in all of these ends, and then do an edging. But I still want to finish it. So I'm going to finish it, even though it's going to take a whole bunch of work. But you know, it'll be pretty in the end. And you know me, if it's pretty, it's usually going to be worthwhile. Usually, not always. And I have the yarn, so why not? Yes, Lori, I'm doing the extra day. I was asking for people who keep prayer lists to help me to determine whether or not that was the right decision. Well, my bank has told me already it was not the right decision, but I don't really care. I'm going anyway because I can't get my money back now. So that is why I'm leaving tomorrow instead of Thursday. So I'll have that extra day of leisure to just hang out and, you know, meet new friends and just have fun and crochet and do the work that I was meant to do, at least in this time of my life. That's another thing. Oof, gosh, we could talk for an hour about that. About what am I meant to do? What is my calling? You know, for a while I was mirroring another crochet channel who was saying, you know, this is my job, this is what I do. And I found when I started talking that way, I was losing my motivation and my inspiration, and my crojo. So, and also, I think that people were reading that. They were seeing um, that in me, and there was no more joy in it. So now I have some really, really good friends who are really, really good advisors. And so now I'm looking at it more as a passion and a calling. And you know, um, one of them talks about finding my voice. I'm still working on that one, and it might be a lifelong um, endeavor to really find my voice. But you know what? I'm finding joy in yarn. I hope I'm spreading joy in yarn. And I really want that to be my mission, spreading joy in yarn. You know, and it means so many things to so many of us. I mean, there are. Thank you so much, Roseanne. You will get your package eventually. Um, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to do and that's what I want to do. If I have a voice through this YouTube channel, I want to spread joy through yarn. And, I have a bit of a cynical cynical personality, but I hope that comes across with the joy in the yarn because, yarn is life. Someone said to me recently, yarn is never having to say you're sorry. Because I was apologizing because I have some packages I'm obliged to send out that I just haven't yet. And someone said to me, yarn means never having to say you're sorry, which is, of course, a quote from Love Story, that novel and movie from the 70s. But, even if you're not obliged, even if you don't have to say you're sorry, you still have to be a good person. And that's what I want to do. I want to be a good person. I want to be a good crocheter. And I might fall short in either one of those endeavors. But I keep trying. And there we go. Yeah! Roseanne says, yarn means never having to be froggy. Well, I hope our friend Froggy doesn't see that comment. Froggy went to knitting. Ooh, I'm at the end of this skein. But I have another. This is going to be a big ol' honkin' shawl. Where did I put that other skein? Never mind. Anyway. Exactly. So I have been on for, it looks like, an hour and 10 minutes. And I want to thank you all for sticking with me if you have stuck with me all this time. And if you're watching a replay, thank you for that. And if not, then thank you anyway for just dropping in. But I'm gonna call it a day, and I have some laundry to fold. I have some packing to do. I have some organizing to do because I have to be ready to head out to this retreat because it's a 6-hour drive tomorrow, and I don't do long distance drives like I used to do, especially the way I sleep. I mean, I sleep a lot better behind the wheel than I do in bed, which is not a good thing. That was a joke. Don't be concerned. So anyway, I want to thank you all. And yes, thank you, Roseanne. That is my intention. I want to stay safe. But thank you, everybody, for coming. And as always, like, subscribe, comment, share, keep coming back, all the standard YouTube crap. And I will see you soon. You can look for, if I am not able to do my Wednesday. Hey, Doris! I didn't see you come in. Oh my goodness. Oh, you haven't done it again. Doris, you are ridiculously generous. Anyway, but thank you all for coming. I'm calling it a day. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Thank you all for coming. Tomorrow, if I do not do a Wednesday free-for-all, I'm not sure whether I will or won't. I will certainly do a, if I don't do a Wednesday free-for-all, I will do a spontaneous live stream later on to talk about my day. Like I did when I went to the other retreat in September. So thank you all very, 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 very much for joining me, and much, much love. Bye-bye now.